Meeting 5:15, I'd like to call the planning commission meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call has been taken. Looking for a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Susie, seconded by Donna. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, I'm looking for a motion for review of approval of June 26, 2025. Planning commission meetings as read in your packet.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made by Jay, seconded by Susie. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, is there any public comment? Any public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item. It's for front yard fence request for 302 West Beacon Ave.
I'll take this one. The owner approached us looking to install a fence in their front yard. As you can see, they're on a corner lot. They don't have a lot of side or rear yard, so they wanted to be able to fence that area and corral a couple dogs and some of their children. So where it shows that gate, if you right between those two lines there at the top is where their walkway is. He's going to put an arbor there with a gate to allow access to the back of the house there. And
When I went past that house though, it's not really the front of the house. It is on the side
Correct.
of the house.
technically it's got two front yards. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's not the main entrance.
Okay.
Do I have the right one?
Yes, you do.
I'll make that motion under the circumstances that I don't believe that you can have two front yards.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the front yard fence at 302 West Beacon Avenue and seconded. Is there any more discussion on this?
The only discussion I have, as I always have, is this going to be something that is in our new zoning stuff? So these kinds of situations do not have to be brought to the planning commission all the time? Or is this just a special situation again?
We're still reviewing that, and
Okay.
ultimately the planning commission decide if they want to get these going forward.
But to your point, yes, we're trying to bring it to the point that a lot of these things can be done administratively based on the ordinance that you guys create. But
Good.
yes,
I always have to bring that up.
Yep.
because We're
we're working on
trying
it.
to eliminate that.
We are working on it.
So I would assume that this would fall within the parameters of the new ordinance that,
I believe so. I don't have everything memorized, but
Yeah.
I mean, we're trying to
Yeah.
minimize what we have to bring back to plan commission for some of these things. So
It's gonna change from 3 foot to 4 foot, so it could allow a chain link fence. Is probably the biggest change. And
thanks.
then we'll take into account whether they need a gate or not for fire access and all that, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I'm with Mayor Mark on looking at this situation. When you said front yard, I went, what?
Mhm.
Because it is street facing on Nassau Street. But there, if you looking at the house, the front, it would be the Beacon Street area.
Mhm.
And their backyard and their garage and stuff is all in the back. So basically, we're letting them fence their backyard, but butting it up to the sidewalk on forward facing Nassau.
Our ordinance calls that
A front yard,
So I had referred to it as that, but yeah, you're correct.
yeah,
Any other house would be their backyard. so.
correct.
Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving it, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, next item is a preliminary plot review to seek approval of Irish Meadow subdivision.
Okay, this was actually introduced at the last meeting. We missed it's supposed to go to planning commission 15 days before it's taken an action on it. So that's the reason we didn't take action on it at the last meeting. It's the same proposal that was here at the last meeting. McMahon and Associates has put this together. They're actually our city engineer as well, so they're the ones that kind of review this stuff to make sure it's accurate. So the Public Works Department and Utilities have looked this over. And I think they're both in agreement to move this project forward. So tonight, we're here to take an action, whether it be to approve conditionally or reject the plat. So this is going to be an action item, recommended approval from the zoning administrator's office that meets current code.
And just kind of update, there will be some updates in the final plat.
Correct.
And the final plat we anticipate the final plat coming to the next plan commission meeting. But like this one, there has to be so many days in advance, which is more than when we send out the packets. So just a heads up that we'll probably be emailing it to the committee to hit that timeline before the next packet comes out. So just keep an eye on your emails as things go on. So we're delivering it to the plan commission within that window that we need to.
I think the final plat has to go to the chair of the plan commission 20 days before.
Mhm.
They told me they're ready for the final plat. They're kind of waiting for this to get approved because there's a process that the state requires for these plats. So we're just kind of following that to the letter. So the first process is to take action on this tonight, whether to, like I said, to approve conditionally or reject. So I just sent the zoning administrators recommended approval of the plat.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion for approval for the preliminary plot review for Irish Meadow subdivision.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Okay, motion's been made by Donna, seconded by Troy. All in favor to signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion's carried. Okay, next item is consider proposal for an accessory structure in excess of 1,100 square feet for 1825 South Mill Street.
So the owner is here, should anybody have questions, but he's recently purchased this 2-unit home on Mill Street. It's kind of tucked into kind of a commercial industrial style area anyway. The existing building there is currently 40 foot long. He's looking to widen that building, so from the roadway, it won't really look a whole lot different than it does now. And plus, the new building would have obviously a lot cleaner lines, some windows facing the street. And since it's over 1,100 square feet, it does require plan commission approval. So I've looked this over, meets all zoning code requirements for that area. We don't believe it's going to impact any of the neighboring properties because, like I said, there isn't a lot of residential here to get with. I don't think you'll see much of a change. If you look there, you can see the building kind of in the back. It's pretty much what it's going to look like when it's completed as well. It's just going to be wider, going deeper into the lot. So the owner's here. If anybody has questions, this is for his own personal use. He's got tenants that are going to house their vehicles at one side. He'll be parking at the other side. So I am recommending approval of this.
So the building that's there now is gonna come down.
Yep.
And then it'll go up, okay.
Yep.
What about the sign that's out there?
That's for the business that sits out behind there. That's kind of a
Oh,
shared driveway.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Like I said, this house is probably kind of a leftover for that area got
Okay,
developed,
got it.
so. And the house has a new roof, it's got a nice clean new look
Okay.
to it, so I think this will benefit the area.
Okay, any more discussion? Okay, I'm looking for a motion to consider the proposal for the 1,100, excess of 1,100 square foot at 1825 South Mill Street.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. A motion been made by Mayor Mark, seconded by Troy to approve an accessory structure on Mill Street. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, next item is consider proposal for an accessory structure in excess of 1,100 square feet for 910 East Fairview Drive.
This is another building that obviously in excess of 1,100 square feet. Kind of the same thing. It's kind of a remote part of the city. It's kind of on the city's edge out there. I don't believe this will impact neighboring properties either. It's going to be taller, about 20 foot, which is our current code's at 15.
My only concern is it seems to exceed the limits by quite a bit. It seems to be a rather large building.
Yeah, it's almost double. And the owner's here, but he said it is for personal storage and personal use. Yeah, obviously this building wouldn't fit into some of the more dense parts of the city, but as you can see by where it is, the city, it's kind of quite a bit in the outskirts. I think, is that railroad there to the south of it there?
Chad, can you blow that up a
Maybe
little
zoom
bit?
out.
Yeah, that's it.
You want this one?
Yeah,
And the owner does reside on. He is also here if anybody has questions.
Can we see what his property, where his property lines are?
So quite a big,
It's that big
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 parcel.
pie-shaped parcel right there.
Okay,
okay.
As you can see, there is a lot of residential around him for it to, someone have to look at some big, monstrosity out there, so.
about where in there, like where those trees are?
Just to the left of that group of trees on the right. Oh, there it
Okay.
is. Yeah.
So it's actually gonna get tucked in those trees a little bit. Not that trees might be, yeah.
So is
Okay.
that gonna exceed the height requirement as well?
It will as well.
It'll
I
be
put that in
clear.
the packet, I think it was, I wanna say it was 20 feet or like.
Well, yeah,
22.
20 feet, yeah.
But the
I think that's just with the 412, truss.
Just so where if we make that exception, it's gonna be difficult to do the same for any other individual town. That size of the building. That's my only concern.
I
is
think
that we're not gonna be consistent if somebody on Mill Street wants to do the same size building, we're gonna have difficulty saying no to that parcel if we approve this one. That's my only concern for the commission.
Yeah, I think he wanted the house up hoist in there, so the reason he needed the sidewall height.
How big is that parcel?
3 acres.
I don't feel like a building that size on 3 acres of land is too much. I mean, it would be different if it was sitting on a smaller, I hear what you're saying.
With the roadway on the north and the tracks to the south, like I said, like.
Steve, how big was that one that we approved on off of House Road about a year ago?
Say it was 40 by 60.
That was pretty big too.
Oh, no, that was the one for, yeah, I remember that one. That wasn't quite that big.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
That was pretty good size, I believe.
we just approved one.
I think so.
We approved that one. That was the one on House Road.
No,
And there was
there's
another large
another
one down on Bruce or Douglas.
Mhm.
It's pretty good size.
Okay, any more discussion? I'm looking for a motion to approve accessory structure excess of 1,100 square feet at 910 East Fairview Drive.
I will make that motion.
You look for a second?
Jeff second.
Okay, motion's been made by Donna, seconded by Jeff. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, next item on the agenda is the site plan review for the proposed addition to block Chevrolet 1101 North Channel Street.
This came to me relatively recently. I talked to both Public Works and Utilities. They both looked at this plan. They didn't have any changes as far as I know. Jay's here to speak for Utilities. I did talk to Robert, from the head of the Public Works Division, and he's comfortable with what they got going on there. I've checked it against our current zoning ordinance, and what they're proposing meets current zoning standards. And I'm recommending approval of the site plan.
So again, Dave, to be clear, it's both the areas in the dotted lines, right? So two
Yeah.
proposed addition.
It's hard for me to see it, but I think the addition's going on the back there, right? Is that what you were asking?
A little bit here too. It says proposed addition here in the dotted lines.
Yeah.
And then also
Correct.
front.
Yep.
So bring up the. So again, this is for Block Automotive.
Yeah.
Addition here.
Yeah, they're obviously expanding operations a little bit out there, which is a good sign.
Didn't we approve one-time
Dave?
addition?
There's somebody behind you too.
Actually, the small addition, well, is not part of this project. That was designed in the master plan. It's just the addition on the backside.
7,800 square feet.
Yes.
Didn't we approve a building thing maybe 4 or 5 years ago? I mean, and then it did it not
Yeah,
happen?
This site plan, was probably submitted 4 or 5 months ago, right at, during COVID or
Yeah,
thereafter. Project was put on hold because of that.
okay,
And wishes to go ahead with it. The
Okay.
small addition is not gonna be part of this project and really doesn't affect any of the grading or anything. But the addition in its size will stay the same. The use is gonna change a little bit on the inside, not a lot. He's adding the paint booth to the inside. The rest of the building will be functioning as the original thought for the addition.
Okay, any more discussion on this? Okay, I'm looking for a motion to approve the site plan for Block Chevrolet.
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
Okay, motion's been made by Troy, seconded by Susie. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, next item on the agenda is a land detachment petition for review and recommendation.
Where in the past, we've annexed properties in the city. This is my first, I guess you'd call it a de-annexation, but for a project that we got going there, they need this 20-foot strip of land, so they've approached us about having that detached from the city and added, is that Hortonia? If I recall correctly. So part of the process is to have the plan commission make a recommendation on council whether or not to allow that 20-foot section to be moved by the city.
The reason for that is the owners found out that evidently this shed right here is built on the property line. So what and the items in yellow, highlighted in yellow, are in the township of Hortonia. This area is in the city. And what they want to do is clean this up so that this shed is not half in the city, half in the township. So they're proposing to cut off a little bit of this acreage in the city and then tie it in, de-annex it or detach it, and tie it into this parcel where they feel that the shed belongs to, in this parcel and 3762 in the township. So that's the purpose of why they're de-annexing that or detaching to that little section.
Who owns that land now?
The top and bottom.
Top.
Top, I believe, is, I think that is building supply, if I'm not mistaken. Chris, yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically a 20-foot strip, the length of the property there. Ultimately, the decision will be made at council, but they're looking for a recommendation from the plan commission. Council.
And I talked to Adam about what the tax implication for that is, and that little bit of area is nothing to really get excited about for a tax value situation.
Okay, any more discussion on it? Looking for a motion for a landing catch petition for review and recommendation.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Okay, motion's been made by Jeff, seconded by Jay. For landing catchment, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, next item on the agenda is to review upcoming agenda items.
The only thing I have is probably we're gonna have the final plat ready for the next meeting. Look for that probably within the next week in email, or if you want to pick up a packet, we put one together for you. They're telling me they're ready to roll that out, so try to get that out. And then secondly, we've talked in the past about the International Property Maintenance Code. The state of Wisconsin did adopt the 2015 version of that, and it's up to municipalities if they choose to adopt that as well. A lot of them will do it with their own amendments, so it kind of fits into their what they're trying to do in their city as far as it mostly deals with housing and blight. It's a lot more comprehensive than what we have, and then like I said, you can strengthen it or weaken it depending on what you want, city council. But I'd like to see us adopt this at some point. There are several municipalities that have already adopted it. I'll try to have that in your packet next week of the cities that have already adopted, and there's like 8 or 10 that are looking to have it yet. They're looking to adopt it as well. I think it'll work better for the city. It's got a lot more legs nationally. It's tried and true. In most other states, use some form of this, and it's basic housing standards and property maintenance standards. So anyway, I'll probably have something in the next meeting for you guys to look over.
If I remember right, we looked at this before,
We did.
and that was the issue. It was such a huge document that you wanted us just to approve it. And we had a lot of, like, well, that doesn't fit with us and that doesn't fit with us or what, and it was overwhelming as to, us to look at. And so I'm not sure if that is still the issue, and if, do we wanna break that down? Or, or are you asking us just to pass it just the way that it
Nope,
is?
we'll
I
discuss
mean,
that.
but that would be, it's gonna be a lot. I mean, it's
Currently, we
lot.
have a housing code
Mhm.
that's X amount of pages,
Sure.
and we also have a nuisance code. Combining those, what we have now is currently bigger than what that would be.
Okay,
It's
well,
pretty-
I
it's a
just know
pretty
that it's
small volume.
it's a lot in it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
and
and
at
if
the
that's
time,
not the direction we want to go.
Yeah.
But I want to at least bring it to the
Yeah.
table. I've used it before. It works very well.
okay,
But that may be on the next meeting's agenda as well.
And I think there's gonna be a process, for
Yep.
that. So Dave's doing research to see, I asked him to see what other communities have done with that, but to your point, yes, I mean, there's a lot with that. Piggyback on, we're doing our zoning code right now. too.
right,
There's a lot with that. So at the next meeting for another agenda item, we might have Ben from our consultant come in to do another section of zoning code as well. So the zoning, the property maintenance, stuff like that, that's all kind of tied in together, so just working on it.
And the one problem I've run into is like our ordinance dealing with junk is in the zoning code. It's in our nuisance code and it's in our housing code. And none of them say the same thing, so this is kind of a one size fits all, and we could actually get rid of two of the codes that we currently use. And probably utilize this one, but like I said, we'd be happy to discuss it if anybody has any questions. I'm very, very familiar with the code. Like I said, every municipality I've used it in has made their own amendments, so they can kind of tailor it. No, we don't like this, bring that out, or, and maybe we want to clean up the language and what we term as trash, like we might decide a brush pile that might be trash, so, and then whether something's maybe stored in a completely enclosed structure as opposed to just maybe behind a fence or something. It's attempt to kind of clean up our current code to make it actually make it a little easier on me, but or whoever takes over. I got about a year left, so trying to just kind of get stuff cleaned up, the zoning code and everything before I leave, so whoever comes in has some nice tools to work with. So anyway, that's all I have for.
Okay. Review next meeting date would tentatively be September 25th, 2025 at 5:50. Okay. Look, seeing that we have nothing else, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Also move.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion to be made by Donna, seconded by Sue. Okay, adjourn the meeting at 5:41.
Need a vote.
Oh, all in favor, signify by saying.
Aye.